Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, this is why I am going to say the Fantastic Four that we got from 2015 is better than the Fantastic Four from the MCU. Why? Because the Fantastic Four in 2015, they were tactical. The way that they got their powers was truly interesting. It was kind of almost like a horror film in some ways. They feel pain, they feel emotions. They were trying to do the best they can to save humanity. And overall, I feel like their character arcs in that is so much better than what we're getting with the MCU. What we're getting with the MCU is very generic. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like, and yes, I would have preferred the Josh Trank cut of this film. I mean, the Josh Trank cut of the 2015 Fantastic Four film, since I get that film was meddled with by the studio, but I still enjoy it for the way it was. To me, it feels more like, you know, what would have happened if, if a science experiment goes wrong. That's what the Fantastic Four 2015, that's what the Fantastic Four from 2015 were trying to capture. While the MCU one, they just want to go with, you know, the stereotypical superhero type that, they got their powers naturally and not from experiments. I'm like, meh, meh. Fun fact, Ben 10, I remember that, a lot of people said that, Ben 10 was inspired by the Fantastic Four, and of course inspired by Marvel, Marvel characters, since, of course, Ben 10, some of the aliens were based on, Marvel characters. Even though, yes, there are similarities between Marvel and DC with Ben 10, I think the difference with Ben 10 is that the aliens, they feel like their own being. They're not just copies of, the characters from Marvel or DC. They are like their own entity, you know? We see that for their personality, their attitude, their reaction. You know, that's kind of what Ben 10 is. It's about a human that transforms into aliens. That's something different. And I feel like that for the Fantastic Four, for the original Fantastic Four film from 2015, the one that Josh Trank wanted, I feel like that was going to be the basis for a Ben 10 film. If you did not know, originally there was going to be a Ben 10 film. I bet originally they were going to use the Fantastic Four film, the one that Josh Trank had, to be the basis of it. Because with Ben 10, at least with some of the classics, some of the UAF transformations, Omniverse, I think, kind of went for more of a regular transformation. But originally, they were gonna have the transformations to be somewhat of body horror, which I feel like had happened with, the UAF era, because in UAF, Ben 10, his, the way that he transforms into the aliens, sure, some are just normal transformations. Our ones is about Ben 10 reconstructing his bone like structure. Basically, reconstructing his skeleton. And, kinda getting, the parts of the alien to be inside of him. I know for Ben 10, he says that, it's kind of like stretching out. But to be honest, when Ben 10 transforms into an alien, I think it's more of a workout. Because when you're working out, you're reconstructing your bones. You're reconstructing your DNA. You're kind of changing into some sort of different person. That's kind of what how Ben 10 transforming his aliens is. It's not him just putting on extra weight. It's more of him reconstructing his bones and him working out. That's kind of like what the Fantastic Four got. And by the way, there are some aliens that were based on the Fantastic Four. Like, Heat Blast was based on Human Torch. Some people say that Attack was based on The Thing, but I feel like The Thing was gonna be based more on Rocks, one of Ben's, original aliens. Invisible Woman, I feel like was supposed to be. I felt like for the Beta alien that was supposed to be based on her would have been Chameleon. You know, the guy that was in, Ultimate Alien who turns invisible and something like that. Anyways, for Mr. Fantastic, some people say Sonara was based on him. But I feel like that, Stretcholo, one of the commercial aliens for Ben 10, was way more based on him. Anyways, also, here's the thing also. A lot of people like the Fantastic Four from Marvel Rivals more than, the one from the MCU. Even the Fantastic Four that was from, the early 2000s, people prefer those over the one from the MCU. Anyways, it would have been kind of funny to see versions of one of the versions of the Marvel characters, coming back, but as like a Marvel Rivals variant of that character. That would have been something that I think Marvel would do. Not saying that to defend them because I'm honestly not defending Marvel. I'm just saying that's what they do because that is Marvel. And here's the thing. How do I know that Marvel would, get some variants of the characters to be based on their Marvel Rivals characters? Because since people love Marvel Rivals, the MCU will think about adding that to their films. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say. And this is what I am going to say. The Fantastic Four from 2015 will be better. Will be better than the MCU ones. The MCU ones, generic, boring, uncooperative characters. The one from 2015, tactical, interesting, and of course, very invested characters. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say. Bye.